The province of Saskatchewan could be on the edge of a boom of a lifetime. But with an oncoming recession and rising interest rates, how is this possible? Let me take you through the 3 reasons why I think this is going to happen.
This is the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast, the show that highlights Saskatchewan real estate. Looking to buy your first house, your next investment property? Subscribe to never miss an episode. Here's your host, Ron Caroni.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Ron Caroni, a mortgage associate in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I love sharing real estate knowledge with a Saskatchewan twist. If you are looking for more information on Saskatchewan real estate, this channel is a great resource for you. Every week we have a different interview or episode based on industry information from realtors, mortgage brokers, politicians, and people with just great knowledge of Saskatchewan real estate. If you're looking for more content like this, hit the subscribe button to never miss a future episode. Now, quickly before I get into anything, everything in this episode is based on my own personal opinion and the information that I'm seeing in media and news articles. If you're looking for a personalized solution for specific advice for yourself, be sure to reach out to the proper professionals and come to your own conclusions. Enough with the fluff, let's get into the episode. All right, so let me take you through the 3 reasons why I think Saskatchewan is going to boom. I recently attended a big event in Saskatoon called the State of Real Estate, put on by the Saskatchewan Realtors Association. What was my big takeaway? Saskatchewan real estate is in good shape. The one thing that we're fighting here is a national perception that real estate is on the downtrend. Because we read a lot of news articles coming from British Columbia and Ontario, whose markets have seen big declines, there's a perception that real estate is bad all across the country. And that's just not true. Check out this CBC Saskatchewan article. So the beginning of this article basically elaborates on how Canadian housing as a whole is not doing well. But when we get to the middle of the article, we start to hear the good news for Saskatchewan. However, RBC reported that Saskatchewan's 2 largest cities are a pocket of resilience in the housing correction. The erosion of prices is modest in many prairie markets, the report stated. This reflects stronger provincial economies, the resumption of in-migration, and relatively affordable properties. Home sales dropped 36% nationally since February, according to RBC. Home prices in Regina were down just 1.6% from the April peak, while Saskatoon's index was down 0.06% in September, according to the report. So why is Saskatchewan real estate not crashing while we're seeing that trend play out in other Canadian cities? One of the feature presenters from that real estate conference that I previously mentioned was Dr. Mike Lineham with RBC Mortgages. He pointed out in his presentation that Saskatchewan did not see the appreciation that we saw in other markets, which also means that when the market slows down, we also don't see the depreciation either. Ask any local realtor and they'll tell you you're not going to see massive appreciation on your purchase on a home in Saskatchewan, but you're also not going to see massive declines either. The key takeaway here is that Saskatchewan real estate is relatively stable. Bucking the national trend, Saskatchewan has added 6,000 jobs since 2021 and has the provincial lowest unemployment rate at 4.1%. That's 2.3% better than last year. That low unemployment number means plenty of opportunity for anyone looking for a job, either interprovincially coming from another province or someone who's moving here from another country. That brings me to my next point. The province is also growing. In the second quarter of this year, the province added 6,645 people. A large portion of that number is immigration. Now, when you look at 6,645 people, it doesn't seem like that big of a number, but when you break it down to percentages, it does become significant. Saskatoon and surrounding area has a population of around 300,000 people. Now, if half of those new residents settle in Saskatoon, that's an increase in population of 3% in one yearly quarter. This puts big demand on things like housing and services, and I project that this number is actually going to get a lot higher as people come to Saskatchewan to take advantage of number 3 on our list. Let's take a look at the world as we know it today. The war in Ukraine has increased oil production and demand for countries like Canada. Saskatchewan specifically holds 1/5 of North America's oil reserves. There's a huge push right now for renewable energy, electric cars, and renewable resources for everyday life. Now, I don't think I'm too far out of line by saying this, that the world is not yet ready to wean off oil and gas. The infrastructure is just not yet there. What will really help these green energy options come to fruition? Nuclear power. What powers nuclear power plants? Uranium. Saskatchewan holds 1/5 of the world's uranium. Lastly, people need to eat. Farming and agriculture are going to play a huge role in a growing population and making sure that there's food for everybody. One of the more important tools that farmers use to get more productive crops is fertilizer, and a key ingredient to make fertilizer is potash. Saskatchewan holds 1/3 of the world's supply of potash. An important point to point out on this as well is that the other top 3 countries that hold the most potash in the world are Russia, Belarus, and China. Countries that are not necessarily friendly to Western civilization. As tensions continue to grow between East and West, key supplies of commodities like this are going to become very important. And the one province that is kind of set up to benefit from all of this is Saskatchewan. I could keep going on about all the things we have here in Saskatchewan. Agriculture, technology, logging, manufacturing. There's tons of industry that happens here. They all help to diversify and make Saskatchewan's economy really strong. As unfortunate as current world events are, and I'm not celebrating things like war and recession, the fact of the matter is that Saskatchewan is perfectly positioned to provide the world with what it needs over the coming decade. And that's why I think we are going to see massive growth in this province. Let me know in the comments, do you think Saskatchewan's economy is positioned to benefit from the world that we live in now? Or do you think that I totally have missed the mark in this video? Let me know what you think by commenting. Hey, thanks again so much for checking out this episode of the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast. If you learned something about the province in this video, do me a favor by hitting the like button. And if you enjoyed this content, to never miss a future episode, hit the subscribe button. I'm Ron Peroni, your Saskatchewan mortgage professional. Until next week, bye for now.